Why do we trim? 3 reasons. Get the weight out, make it look nice, and make it more functional. What's up, guys? I'm Jonthepotter, and welcome back to another pottery video. Today, we are going to be talking about trimming. I got a bunch of bowls here that all need to be trimmed. Trimming. Why do we trim bowls? We trim bowls because they come out like this, and they don't look very good, and we want them to look perfect. Like that. So I've already trimmed one bowl. We're gonna get on the wheel and I'm just gonna talk about how to trim. This is how I like to trim. This is certainly not the only way to trim. Many potters trim different ways. First thing I do whenever I go into a shop and I see pottery, I flip it over, look at the bottom, look at the signature. So you can always tell who has done pottery before by who's looking at the bottoms. Couple reasons that we trim bowls. So I'd say there's 3 reasons. Get the weight out, make it look nice, the aesthetic part, and make it more functional so that it's smooth and just that nice, smooth, perfectly circle bottom. Ooh, yeah. First things first, what are we gonna need? You're gonna need a needle tool, trimming tools. A couple different sizes is good, and you're gonna need some clay to secure your piece. And you need coffee. Oh wait, that's just me, I just need coffee. You can certainly use coffee if you'd like it. So we got our piece. These bowls I threw yesterday, and I left them sit overnight, and then I flipped them around this morning, and they are just at a perfect point to trim right now. It's pretty hard, you see how I push on that and it doesn't really move, but it's still wet enough that we can carve that clay out. So the first thing I do is I get the piece as close to centered as I can by just lining it up with these circles on the wheel. Right? So I can see it's already pretty close to centered, but then what I do, because that's the most important first step in trimming, is you have to get it in the center. The more accurate you are getting your pot re-centered, the easier everything is after that. I use my needle tool for 2 different places. The first one I go around is the top, and I just stick it in there, and I can see that it's really close to the edge over here, and it's not as close to the edge over here, which means that I have to move it towards the area that's really close to the edge. So then I can kind of like get rid of that line a little bit. So now I put another line in there. I can see I'm getting a little bit closer. And the other way that I'm gonna check that it's in the center is by putting my needle right on the edge. So see how it's only hitting in one spot? You can hear that maybe? So right now, right there, there's no mark where the needle is, but right here, there is. So from like here to here, there's a mark. So I know that that's too far that way, so I need to push it the opposite way that the line formed. Then I can get rid of that line and then do it again. So then it's just a little bit different area. So then I see the 2 lines are right here on this side. So then I'll push it that way. And you can tell if your pot wasn't very centered when you threw it, then this is gonna be really difficult. So there we go, now I'm pushing the needle and it's touching all the way around, which means that it's really close to being in the center. So the more time you spend on that part, getting it completely in the center, the easier the rest of it is. Then we take our clay, and then what I'm gonna do is, what I usually do is make 3 big coils. So I take a coil like that, stick it right there, then move the wheel a little bit, do another coil, hold that pot down so that it doesn't move, and then do a 3rd one. So I got three anchors for that. Then we'll take our tools, and now this is the fun part, where you get to kind of decide what kind of foot you want to put on it. So usually what I do is I'll take one and come in from the side, and make that just a really nice, even, consistent edge. And then what I'll do is I'll come in from the top up here and start to create that little foot right here. And when I'm thinking about trimming, I'm thinking about it being a little bit deeper over here on the edge than it is in the middle. And you can kind of feel the middle to see if there's very much clay there, depending on what consistency it's at that you're trimming. So you can see I can go a little bit deeper on the bottom, on the outside of the edge, and make that almost like the bottom. You're thinking about the bottom of the bowl shape. You're trimming almost like that. All right, and then if we want to create a foot, we could maybe take a different tool. This one has like a pretty sharp angle to it. And then we'll just come down and we'll come at it from this way. We'll just take in some clay from that side. So we're coming from this way, and then we're gonna move our trim tool this way so that we can make that a really nice edge for the bowl. And then the last thing that I'll do, I switch tools again, is create that angle on this foot. That just makes it look really nice, makes it so that that's where I know where I'm gonna wax. I'll wax that angled part right there, plus the bottom. And then I'll just kind of go through one more time, make sure everything, all the clay's nice. And that's about it. Then we'll take a tool and sign it. And there you go. There's a nice trimmed bottom. More space on this side, a little less space on this side, so we gotta just move it slightly that way. So I usually do that once to just make sure that I got, and then I'll do this, because this is a little bit more precise. So right now the needle made a line just from here to here, so I know that I can push it this way. Then I'll get rid of that line, just hitting all the way around. Take my pieces of clay. Then you always want to make sure that your foot is flat as well, so that the bowl will sit flat. So like that. Now I know that that's completely flat, and then I'll go one more angle for the edge. Then you can take your finger, you can take a little water, just make sure that it's not a sharp edge. And put that sweet signature in so the whole world knows that you made it. So we got all these bowls trimmed and they look fantastic, delicious. So this is just how I trim things, and I don't even really trim everything. Like a lot of cups and bowls, I'll just trim them on the wheel, and then I'll take a sponge afterwards and just smooth it out. So like this one, I just trimmed it on the wheel with a wood tool. Or maybe I'll do another video about that. But this is the more traditional way to trim things. I didn't trim this either, and that still has a nice, perfect flat bottom. Whoa, beautiful day in Minnesota. Thanks so much for watching this video. How to trim pots. I hope this video helps you trim the best that you can trim. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Would appreciate it so much. Like this video, comment below, tell me how you trim your pots. Tell me what you struggle with, and I'll try and answer some questions and come out with videos that would help you be a better potter. That's what we do. I'm just trying to help you, trying to inspire you, trying to entertain. That's what it is. We're going out later today on the lake where we're gonna film a new video where we combine pottery and surfing. And that's all I'm gonna say about it. but I can't wait for that video. Can't wait for you guys to see that video. Summer in Minnesota, if you haven't ever experienced it, come check it out. I don't get as much pottery done, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. I'm John the Potter, signing out. Happy potting.